I am moving to Phoenix, Arizona. So I've mentioned before, if you watch my channel and all, but with my career and the rotational program I'm going in, I will be doing an 8-month rotation in Phoenix, Arizona. It's always been my dream to purchase a property, preferably like a duplex, right out of college and really start that investment route. However, with the real estate market and the positions it's in, I think it's a smarter investment plan to be renting instead of buying right now. Let me explain why. First, the average home in America right now is around $412,000. So let's just give the example of $400,000, and the average interest rate right now is around 7%. So let's even give myself an interest rate of 6.5%. On a 30-year loan with 20% down, my estimated monthly payment will still be $2,500. And that's even lowballing it. I've just signed my lease for $1,075 a month, not including Wi-Fi, electric, and all that. All of that included in, I'm gonna be paying $1,300 a month. Let me explain to you why I'm doing it. So as a young finance major who just graduated college, right now why I think it's a better idea to actually rent an apartment instead of buying a place is, let's say you're putting 20% down on a $400,000 house. 20% of $400,000 is $80,000. So if I want to have a good down payment on this house and secure one of the best loans I could possibly get in this market, that's $80,000 of cash I would have to put down on this property. I don't have $80,000. Do you have $80,000? So you have to think in a way of, if you're renting, you don't have to put a down payment. You have a fixed rate and that's all you're paying. And that's great. Think about investing that same down payment in the S&P 500, which has performed outstanding these past few years. Right now, I think it's a better option to not put all your money in one basket of buying a property when, personally, I'm not gonna be living there for a long time. I'm just in a rotational program, so right now, this is the best option for me. I gotta pull up my notes for this one. But with buying a house, there's a lot of other costs that go into it rather than just a mortgage payment. For example, like I just said, the down payment, then you have the interest payment. So you're not paying what the house is worth. You're gonna be paying a significant amount more than what that house is actually worth just because of interest rates. And then you're gonna have to pay property taxes, which depending on where you live could be an extra $1,000 on top of that. You're gonna have to get house insurance, and you're living in a house. And most likely, within the time that you're living in that house, there's gonna be a lot of maintenance repairs that you need. And those are costs you can't exactly predict. You could get lucky one year, not have any, and the next year have a pipe burst and have huge unfortunate situations. We have to fix these needs. And I know what you're thinking, yes, but when you buy a house, you're kind of putting that money into your own equity and kind of building wealth for yourself. But like I just said, unless if you're planning on for sure living there for over 20 years at least, there's gonna be a lot of other costs where if you decide to move later on with realtor fees, the cost of actually moving, there's a lot of other things that are gonna make it so your return on your investment isn't actually as good as you think it's gonna be. Versus right now, if you put all your savings into like an S&P 500 mutual fund, based off history, we've seen you might get around 7% rate of return on that. Like for example, I'm young, and if you're also young, you're probably not gonna be living in the same spot for the next 30 years. At least I know I'm gonna be moving around a lot of different places. So personally, I think it's a better option for me to rent. For my globetrotter life, I'm gonna have to be versatile with where I move into. And stay tuned because I move in about 3 weeks. I'm gonna give you an apartment tour of my 400 square foot apartment. That being said, let me know if you still think it's worth to be investing in real estate right now, if you're trying to time the market up, or if you think renting is the better option.